Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My eyebrows look a little red. Hi. Do you like how I fixed my door hanger thingamajiggy? I got rid of a lot of stuff so it could look prettier, but maybe I'll get rid of it altogether. You let me know down below. Today we are taking a look at the new Born This Way Super Coverage Multitasking Sculpting Concealer. It released a few days ago and I didn't think I would be interested until I saw everyone's raving reviews about it. There's a lot of buzz surrounding this new product as it is being compared to a Tarte's Shape Tape. Shape Tape, although with its immense popularity, wasn't a favorite amongst a lot of faces simply because it is super thick and the under eye area can get a little crepey, a little dry, and it wasn't the most ideal formula for that type of skin texture. But here came along Too Faced, created a super coverage concealer that not only super covers but has skin benefits as well and is a lot more forgiving texture wise. I've used it already as I wanted to dive in right away and see how it went under my eyes and how it looked. It's pretty gorgeous. We'll also take a look at the other Born This Way products just so you can have a little bit of perspective about the line, its skincare benefits, and its concept behind the formula. If you want to see some swatches, a demo, maybe a wear test, then please keep on watching. The Too Faced Born This Way foundation first launched way back in 2015. It was supposed to be a medium to full coverage foundation that provided you a flawless, naturally looking face, the Born This Way face. It retailed for $29 for 1 ounce at 30 milliliters. Just keep that number in mind and I'll let you know why in a second. A year later, they released their Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer. Also with the Born This Way foundation, it contained coconut water, alpine rose extract, and hyaluronic acid in their formula. They were very excited about this because not only this foundation provided superior coverage, also provided skincare benefits that was said, don't know if it's scientifically proven, to improve your skin's texture over time. At the time, a few years back when I bought it, I tried it, returned it because I wasn't crazy about the shade. At that time also, they launched their ethereal setting powder that only came in the 1 shade translucent. And now we zip over to the current 2018 launch, where not only did we get this new super coverage concealer, but our girl Jackiana collabed with Jared and created 9 additional lines to their Born This Way foundation. Everyone was excited because the formula has been a favorite for years amongst several makeup lovers, and to have 9 extra shades, definitely ranging from medium to deep, was very exciting to very many. I bought the Born This Way foundation way back when. I had to buy 2 shades because I think it was golden at the time, didn't fit me on its own and I had to pair it with another. I don't remember if I loved it or not. It was when I was just first starting out with makeup, and after years passed and I tried lots of foundations, I have a better handle of what I love. I will definitely try it again. I'll snap a sample first because you know how I am with that, just to make sure the color is right. I think I want to pick up one of Jackie's new colors because I think the golden undertone gig is gonna be great for me. With the 9 new shades the Born This Way foundation line launched, we also have the 20 new shades of the new Born This Way Super Coverage Multitasking Sculpting Concealer. The Too Faced Born This Way Super Coverage Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer retails for $29. It comes in 20 shades, 12-month expiration shelf life, 15 milliliters or 0.5 fluid ounces. It's made in Italy. It has coconut water, alpine rose, and hyaluronic acid. It's hydrating, long-wearing, photo-friendly, and non-comedogenic. Now get this, remember what I said about the foundation being 30 milliliters? This is 15 milliliters. It's basically half the size of the original foundation. It's like a mini foundation, although it is packaged as a concealer. It's $29, which is a lot of product. If you compare it to other brands, maybe like, let's say, Laura Mercier's Flawless Fusion Concealer, she comes in at 7 milliliters or 0.23 ounces. If you want to know the ounces for the Too Faced, is 0.5 ounces. You're getting double the amount for just $6 more with the Born This Way. The Tarte Shape Tape, for instance, I know we canceled them, but just as an example, I'm just gonna say this as an example because some of you might be still using it, is 0.338 fluid ounces and 10 milliliters of product. Colourpop comes in at a very small 0.176 ounces, but she's only $6, so it's okay. Makeup Revolution comes in at 0.14 ounces, but she's $7. And our good old Radiant from NARS, an old fave of mine, 0.22 ounces, 6 milliliters of product for $30. You're already getting a good buy with this purchase already, in comparison to several favorite liquid concealers now on the market. Along with the new 9 shades for the foundation, the 20 shades for the new concealer formula, we also have 2 new shades for their ethereal setting powder. Originally they launched just the translucent shade, and now they have medium and deep. I'm intrigued by the medium, more so for the rest of my face. I definitely need to apply a lighter shade for my under eye area. And if you're wondering, I managed to capture all my swatch comparisons with all the concealers I just mentioned. You wanna see? Let's get to it. Interesting. Some companies that claim to be neutral or golden or whatever, so different when you compare them side by side. Here is a shot I snapped at Sephora when I also swatched warm sand next to honey and regular sand. I'm now thinking I should have gotten the warm sand because honey, although is beautiful in this neutral tone on my skin, because now I am getting tan, it might look a little too neutral. I have to make sure I blend it in very well because it could look distinctly more cooler from the rest of my face. But we'll get into that in a second. Another interesting I ran into is when looking at the ingredient list, because the 3 consistent ingredients, again, from the foundation, the setting powder, and the concealer is the coconut water, the alpine rose, and the hyaluronic acid. How much of these ingredients that are actually in the formula to actually make a difference, I don't know. But usually you look at the top 5 ingredients in any formula. That is an indication of predominance in terms of the formula possessing the most out of the first 5 ingredients listed. Now the 3 from the Born This Way line, it's like the middle of the ingredient list for the foundation and also for their original Radiant concealer. I found that these 3 are like at the bottom of the super coverage concealer. Their original Radiant concealer sister has more of these 3 ingredients than their now super coverage. I just want to let you know, because if you're really into that sort of thing, and if you're really looking to get the coconut water, the alpine rose, and the hyaluronic acid to make a difference, I'm not sure if it's going to make much in the super concealer. Maybe over a year of use, you'll see a touch of difference under your eyes. Maybe if you use the Born This Way all around from foundation, powder to concealer, that you'll see improvement overall on your face. But let's get into this face, shall we? I'll give you a glimpse of my current summer skin foundation routine. I'll first go in with the Makeup Forever HD Skin Perfector, shades 4 and 9. Oh, I gotta go. Again, I'm just chatting away, wasting time. This gives a really nice golden tint to my skin. It evens out my complexion. It's not going to be hardcore in tackling my major pigmentation issues that I have, but that's why we will use the new Born This Way concealer for. And that's why I also thought, maybe I should have gotten warm sand, because you'll see when I apply the honey is gorgeous. Because under lights, the warm sand looks very yellow, but under natural light, it looks a little more golden. I might just have to snap a sample. They might just have to scrape the doe foot applicator into a tester because, you know, I gotta figure this fish out. Let's first take a look at sand. This is now what I will apply to my under eyes. Ooh, 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 ooh. Some of these shades are already sold out. It's like people are not messing around. I love the shade too. It's not too light. It's said to be medium skin golden undertone, and I much prefer golden for my under eye area. This is a Morphe G2 brush. I've been recently using this brush a lot, mostly out of pure laziness, I hate to admit, because I keep forgetting, you know, before I film to prepare my beauty sponge, and then here I am ready to roll, and I'm like, you know what, I'll just use the brush, it's fine. Look at that. The texture on this, I feel, is, if we were to compare it to Shape Tape, you know, back in the day when I was using that, it is a lot more forgiving and the texture is a lot smoother. And it feels more hydrating, and I think that's what people loved about the Conceal and Define from Makeup Revolution. Although obviously a lot more cheaper than Shape Tape, it didn't have the same coverage power, but it was a better texture, I felt. Taking a smaller brush to just refine this blending around my nostrils, also in the inner corner of my neck, in the inner corner of my eyes. I'm telling you, man, this is some nice coverage. The texture is gorgeous. It is luminous, it's diffusing, it doesn't make me look overly highlighted, I feel. Yes, I am sitting in front of my window and it looks like, oh, she bright. Because the next shade up would have just been my shade, and preferably I love to look brighter on the center of my face. And I think if you are NC42 MAC, if you are Honey or Warm Honey in the Hourglass Vanish stick, if you are Maybelline Superstay stick or liquid 312 golden, or what else? Makeup Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick in F12. Definitely in the tan realm, I think sand will be perfect for the under eye area. I'm not going to set it just now because I want you to see how honey goes on my blemishes. I think it is my skin shade, like to the T, but again, because I'm getting a little more tan just being out in the sun, when it blends with my Skin Perfector, the goldiness from the Skin Perfector, I feel translates the honey shade more cool than just neutral. I'm gonna punch it in using the same buffer brush. And also, this was my fault in not thinking of this before. Because my acne scars already have a gray tint to it, I think the neutral undertone from the honey shade is enhancing that gray tint, unfortunately. And I didn't think about that when deciding between Warm Sand and Honey, that the Warm Sand will probably be better in canceling out the gray tone of my acne scars. It's alright, and I feel bad exchanging it. I don't have to. I could technically keep it and just combine it with the Warm Sand. But I also have so much concealer and foundation that, oh god, overload. It's nice coverage, and the reason I'm not going ham is because, again, I don't want it to look gray on this part of my face. I just needed a little bit to diffuse the discoloration and the hyperpigmentation to not make it look as prominent. And I think it works out pretty well. Setting my under eyes with the Hourglass Veil Translucent. Still light dusting. Making sure. Oh, let's do a crease check. I am creasing a little bit, but that's just due to my under eye skin. Unfortunately, with all the makeup that I wear and the removing that I do, despite me being as gentle as I possibly can, this part of my under eye is very delicate and it is a little liney. Just patting that right under. And I want to take it also onto my nose because I want to make sure this part of it is set well, as it does break up during the day very quickly. I'll also take this opportunity to set my lids, which also have the Born This Way concealer on there. Get that on. Are we still gonna powder the rest of our face? Indeed we are. Simply because as light as the coverage I used, I still need to powder it because it is a cream product. It does blend beautifully into the skin, but since we used the concealer to cover our blemishes and it is a cream product, we want to make sure that stays throughout the day and doesn't slide. You know what I mean? Using my Dermablend Cool Beige Translucent Setting Powder. Sorry I didn't show you the shade before, but I really like this powder. I think it sets the makeup very well. It still looks light on the skin. It doesn't make me feel heavy. Yeah, man, I think it's a great pattern. Going OG using my Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer in Tantric. This is the original shade because I much prefer it as a bronzer. I did use the other one yesterday, and it's a really beautiful, like, soft contour on me. But if I'm just going for that general sun-kissed kind of look, I rely on this bronzer to give it to me. Using Pat McGrath's Sublime Highlighter Trio. Both, I'm gonna do like a little bit of both of Iridescent Pink and Pale Gold. See how that goes. Oh my god, my cheek is pink. It's okay. Still works though. Not mad at it. Definitely something different for me. Taking Marc's Air Blush in Lines and Last Night. And here is the complexion done. What do we think? This is not bad, just using a skin tint and 2 concealers. It looks like I have foundation on. Not in a cakey way, but in a coverage way. That the coverage is there, but my face, my skin still feels lightweight. I don't feel like there's something on me that I overly did it. And again, I've used this concealer a few times already, and I love how it looks under the eyes. I think it is incredibly smoothing and diffusing, but the coverage is there, man. Like, and also with my blemishes, I love how it blended into my skin. It didn't look patchy or textured. I am low-key curious to see how Warm Sand looks on my blemishes instead of honey. And I might come on here again if I end up getting Warm Sand, combining the two on my skin, and maybe we could use that as a foundation. I don't know. And I still want to try one of Jackie Aina's collab shades. So we got several update videos to film with concerning this Born This Way line. I'm gonna be right back, apply my eyeshadow, and we'll take it from there. The rest of the makeup is done. You like my eye? Review and demo of this baby coming soon. Little Fenty Gloss Bomb lip because I'm just, I feel like very easygoing today, except for this part, but everywhere else is easygoing. I would like to come back here after, well, let's look at the time. Right now it is 9 a.m. I would like to come back on here after 6-7 hours, ideally 8, just to see what the under eyes are looking like, the portions that we apply the honey concealer on, if the blemishes peek through, how much, how little, and we'll take it from there. And at the end, I will give you my thoughts on the concealer, if I think it is worth your interest, your purchase, and I'll see you then. And we're back. Now we currently have the time of 5:36 p.m. I feel like we're in the 7-8 mark, I think. Don't mind this little dinge I have on the bridge of my nose, right smack in the center of everything. As I was going about my day, I stumbled across Wayne Goss's video, and he made a video of the Too Faced Born This Way Super Cover Multitasking Sculpting Concealer, and loved it. Kind of feels good when I'm on the same page of people who I admire and trust their opinion. And here it is, friends. Unfortunately, it did not stay on my nose, and today was humid, and it wasn't necessarily sunny either. There were some sunny spots during the day, but it was like being in a gray oven. It enveloped you. It was a lot. And I am very pleased to announce that, especially here on my face, it doesn't feel sticky. And that's what I encountered when using the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick. Unfortunately, as much as I love the coverage and the texture of it, my face did feel a little dewy by the end of the day. I feel like I'm not running into the same dew-like finish with this concealer, especially here on my face. And it could be due to the fact that I powdered very well. But guys, look at that. Look at how the makeup is intact. My blush, bronzer, and highlighter still look fairly fresh. Again, my nose is not doing very well, but my under eyes, I really love how radiant my under eyes look still. Unfortunately, we just had a little bit of transfer here, and it could be applying a little more powder on my part, on that portion of my under eye, to make sure that doesn't happen. For the most part, this concealer knocked it out of the park for me. And here she comes, blowing all of our minds. I did not expect the performance to be this magnificent. Sad for me to say, perhaps because I didn't experience or fully understand and appreciate the magic of the Born This Way formula. Although the coconut water, alpine, rose extracts, and hyaluronic acid are low on the list, they are still in here, and I'm not sure what goes into making concealer, and to provide that super coverage and all the pigments, something had to give. We want the super coverage because that is the priority for this formula versus their naturally radiant formula that has more of the star ingredients higher on the list. The coverage though is not going to be as good. If you want that coverage, the multi-use sculpting concealer is definitely the way to go, but I am most appreciative of how it looks on the rest of my face. The under eyes, I mean, stunning, and I understand that it's very hard for anything to stay on my nose, especially with wearing sunglasses, putting them on, taking them off. Unfortunately, my allergies are still kind of a thing, and I have to blow my nose sometimes during the day. I didn't bring this with me to touch up because sometimes I just feel it's not worth it, and I deal with having a naked nose. It's fine. I still love how my under eyes look, and they look smooth. They don't look, hello, are you gonna focus? They look smooth. I love the texture. I love the color of sand. I feel it's a reasonable shade of highlight, especially if I'm trying to achieve a no makeup look or a very light foundation type of look. It's not going to be overly bright on the center of my face, but it's not going to be the same shade color as the rest of my face to create that contrast and that dimension. And I think I like honey for spot treating my blemishes. Again, I am on the fence about trying warm sand, as I mentioned, to look more golden, and I didn't know if honey was going to be too neutral if I paired it with my more golden foundations, concealers, and powders. I think I'm going to be okay. And the fact that you get 0.5 fluid ounces, that's half the usual amount of 1 ounce, which is typical for foundation dosage. It's 15 mils of product. That's a lot of product for just a concealer. I feel you're getting your money's worth. This is gonna last forever if you're gonna use a reasonable amount each and every time. I'm not sure how much concealer you're gonna use, but you saw how little I used for my blemishes, so my honey is gonna last me for a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm still undergoing a little bit of transfer here. Not so much here, but I really love how smooth, let's ignore this part. I really love how smooth it looks and how radiant and luminous it looks despite it being after 7 hours. And this I'm most impressed by. I think the texture is phenomenal, and it's just as if I applied my makeup a minute ago. I'm mind blown right now. And it's good to know if I want a very light no makeup day, I could just spot treat my blemishes, blend it into my skin, maybe mix it in with my favorite skin tint or BB cream to create a more even finish, to cancel out the redness or any other discoloration going on, and I have a nice fresh face for the whole day. I highly recommend this concealer. If I'm just talking about pure makeup and the formula, and having tried this for a few days now and really putting it to the test for day 2, because yesterday was also crazy hot and humid and I wore this all day and I loved how my skin looked. This also leads me to try the new foundation shades that came out of the collab with Jackie Aina. This also leads me to try the translucent powder because I maybe have tried it. I don't remember. I want to try the translucent powder now because I'm so blown away by this concealer formula that I don't know, maybe the medium will look really nice all over my face and the translucent will look really nice under my eyes. I don't know. I really love my Dermablend too in my hourglass, so I gotta decide on that. And when any of that happens, I'll be sure to come on here and share the news with you friends. Let me know if you plan to pick this up, if you tried it already. If you're wondering about the shades, you could ask me down below and we could try to figure it out together. I'll be sure to be more prompt in replying to the comments. I'm sorry if any of my answers have been delayed. I'll be better about that, especially if you have any pressing questions about this concealer. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, swatch, demo, chit chat, or get ready with me. Take care and I'll see you again soon.